Hello everyone, just wanted to give an update on the Reef aquariums here. Starting off with the 125. Quite a bit's changed in here. One of the biggest changes is I went ahead and redid the right hand side of the reef, and what I did was ordered 20 pounds of dry Peconia reef rock from Bulk Reef Supply, which I actually got 23 pounds. Then I also asked for about 3 to 4 large pieces, and I ended up getting one large piece. Now the one large piece though I was a little upset with at first. It was actually quite large. It was approximately 16.5 to 17 inches by 14 inches. Just I guess to give you a picture, it'd probably be about bigger than a basketball. So it would barely even fit in here. So what I did is just ended up taking my hacksaw and cutting around it as far as the hacksaw would reach, and it didn't even quite reach the center. But then I took my chisel and just lightly tapped around it, and it actually broke perfectly in half where my cuts were. So I'll kind of show you how that turned out, and here it is there. Now to me this looks like there's a lot more room there. It doesn't look so cluttered with a bunch of smaller pieces of rock all stacked. I actually really like the way it turned out. And just to give you an idea of the size of that piece of reef rock, the two pieces on the bottom there, there's the one section there, and the other section there on the right. You see how large that was. And now what I did though, I just didn't go and just start cutting into it right away. I kind of just visualized what that rock would look like cut in half, or cut it at a certain angle, because you got to remember when you cut it in half, you're going to have a flat section on each piece. So I just, after I visualized that, just started to go ahead and slowly cut through it. It took maybe 20 minutes, so it really didn't take that long at all. Now the other thing I did too is I took my chisel and I wanted to make a cave. So I went ahead and angled the chisel and just slightly tapped all the way around these sections a little bit at a time, and that actually worked out quite well. It was easy to just chip away at that. And I made another smaller hole over there, but the mushrooms kind of are hiding it there. But same thing though, just kind of slowly worked around it, and it worked out well. And then I did keep two of the pieces though. That large piece there, which actually used to slope right there, actually fit nice across those two to kind of give a bridge there. Then the other piece that I kept, which really the mushrooms were attached to it, so, but it actually blends in quite well there. But other than that, all the other pieces were just removed from here. I did end up getting a few more fracs. There's one there, another large poly, then another lobophilia, a little slightly different than the orange and green one there. There it is. Then I added the fish that were in the QT in here, the tomato clown, well, the blue line tomato clown. There it is. It kind of hosts those hammers there. I was a little worried about putting that little guy in here, and I'll explain why I put him in here in a few. But I put him in here because I had troubles with the 40-gallon reef again, and I'll show you what that is here in a minute here. Then the reason why, look how large that tusk fish is. You can kind of see when he swims by, but it doesn't bother him at all. So it's a little concerned at first, but he doesn't even seem to pay him any attention at all. Then went ahead and put the flame angel in here. I just saw it over here. Probably won't get a shot of it now, but normally it's out swimming around quite a bit, but it's kind of like hanging around this new section now. Oh, there it is right there. So he's doing well so far, leaving the corals alone. I hope he continues to leave them alone. Then the other fish I added in here, I did end up putting the Aptasia eating filefish back in here. One reason is, look at the Aptasia back there already, starting to take over. And the other reason too is I lost a few more acans when he wasn't even in here. They were like this here, they're perfectly fine. Then the next day they were nothing but white skeletons. First I thought it was the Aptasia eating filefish, but that can't be the case now. What I probably observed was him just picking around them and just picking off maybe some of the algae or possibly a little small aptasia. So I'm going to try them in here again and just really keep an eye on it. So now I'm not so sure why I lost some of these acans, other than there might be bacteria in here. So what I did is use some of that Melaflex. I've used it before, and treated this tank twice in a week. And just to let you know, it does stress the corals a little bit. Some of them won't fully open, but that only lasts for about a day or two. Then they open up just fine. Like I said, I've used this before and never lost a coral to it, but it's supposed to help heal corals. So I'm hoping that if it was bacteria in here, it's now eliminated. Other than that, not a whole lot else has changed in here, other than I did shift a few of the corals around. I went ahead and moved the chalice over here where that one like light green mushroom corals were, and the reason why they started to shrink away and kind of see them here, so I moved them down here hoping that they'll snap out of it. Maybe that was just too much light at that level for them, I'm not sure. But speaking of light too, I also readjusted my lights again. I actually am running like more of a 20K, 12K, and 10K than the reverse again, but I lowered the percentage a little bit more. I'm back down to about 65%. For some reason, I don't know, it just seems like some of these corals are getting too much light. And now the brain coral actually is doing quite well. For a while there, it was staying kind of retracted a little bit, but it's fully open again like it used to be. So I'm going to leave it like this for a while. Try not to play with the lights too much. I just changed them about a month or so ago, so just gradual changes and see what the adjustments how the adjustments react in here. That's all I have for now, and I'll take you to the 40-gallon reef. Okay, here we are at the 40-gallon reef, and if you'll notice, there's no fish in here. Once again, I lost fish in here due to ick. I'm not sure what's going on. I pretty much kept this aquarium, as far as I can remember, follow for about 82 to 85 days, meaning fishless. I don't recall adding anything other than flake food and top-off water. Those fish were quarantined for a little over 5 weeks. So I lost the coal tang, the royal grama, and that other tomato clown due to ick. So now I'm not quite sure I'm going to do this aquarium. I'm really thinking about just tearing it down and starting over. To start off with, I am going to take out all that substrate and the live rock and just put the coral back in here for a while, because I don't want to lose the coral, but I also don't want to take the risk of transferring any of the ick into my 125-gallon reef. So I thought maybe if I just eliminate all the substrate in the reef rock and just let it be bare bottom with just the coral in here, maybe for 4 months or something like that, then take a chance of putting the coral in my 125. Just was very, I guess, very disappointing. I thought it was free of ick in here, but apparently not. So I'm not so confident in the fishless period to eliminate ick now. But anyway, that's all I have, and I just want to thank you for watching another video.